And in 2020, we did a waste sort with the statewide Department of Natural Resources. That showed us that a third, or 34% of overall and 38% of all residential waste is all organic material.
We've created this scale that isn't human scale, it's just like industrial level. And so individual like fluctuations in demand and like environmental factors and all these other things aren't taken into account. And so at any moment, something could change. And then all of this food that is produced becomes obsolete.
Since about 2010, around that area at the time, food scraps were collected on campus on a smaller scale, sent to the West Madison Agriculture Research Station, where they were to be composted, and they tried that out for a number of years.
Our curbside program that began in 2011, it failed ultimately because we wound up just having too much contamination in the system. That's what wound up happening. We kept getting the program a little bit bigger every time too, and trying to kind of get our handle on that contamination issue and trying to communicate to the people that had volunteered for the program. And then every place we went, like, we just kept running into that contamination problem.
We were taking food waste a smaller amount, but it was too contaminated with utensils and non-compostable.
The safety of compost is key. If compost gets a bad name and we have people that don't know what they're doing, obviously people are not going to be excited about composting. I like doing what we do, which is diverting materials from the landfill, but again, at the same time, reducing fertility inputs on farms, sometimes 20, 30, 40%, right? Getting crop residue to stay in the soil and be a benefit to the farmer instead of a hindrance.
So we're trying to educate. That was the idea of this pilot study of, can we get a clean stream? And what's it take? I mean, we're coming from campus, which are these educated white entity, and there's still things that they don't understand of.
People just want to get rid of the scraps, feel good about themselves, and leave. You know, that's the transaction. So how do you interject in that transaction those different... God.
We need education. We need people to feel empowered. We need positive opportunities for people to like dig into, no pun intended. So like going, the way of mechanization and like centralization and like corporate, endeavors, like there's definitely improvements upon the current scenario, but I feel like we miss out, of realizing that we're all on this planet together. We're all in a collaborative event.
We can only do so much, because if we do operations that cost us money, that's not sustainable. Sustainable is economic, social, and environmental. We need to have all three of those benefits to have a sustainable operation.
It's harder for us in the waste industry to make as compelling as an argument as police. This is important stuff too, but like if you have money to fund so many things,
we just have to prioritize what we want to do with our money and resources to capture and recycle. The earth is a contained unit.
There's really no waste in nature. So it's like the concept of waste that's the creation. Like that's what we've created, is like that you throw something away and it just disappears. Because ultimately it's all cycling,
But how do we create a system that's based on multiple values, including economic factors, but also like environmental, communal, like equity, all these different factors? And I think maybe in Madison, our best example of that is the compost, where you have all these individual actors who are doing this work at different scales for different reasons.